love to do that again sometime, if my wife will let me.
If your wife will let you. I have a question about grappling concepts, though. Out of the St. Peter's location, do you have any female fighters? How many do you have, and how do you prepare those trainers and those fighters to counteract with one another, and how do they train to prepare for a fight?
Yeah, I mean, we actually have a really, really large women's class and women enrollment.
I was wondering what you said.
Please enlighten
Keep her in a
all of our
cage.
viewers on what that means exactly.
Keep her in a cage in the basement.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of great stories from the women's standpoint. You know, that's the nice thing about it.
So what's the ratio? Is it maybe like a 2-to-1 thing, male to female? Or?
No, it's probably more to 3-to-1, 4-to-1.
If it's 2-to-1, you're going to have about 100 more students tomorrow.
But I do have the best looking jiu-jitsu program in the country. I've got to think that.
So you have much advertising going on then, huh? Right?
Exactly.
You're on
I need to make a TV commercial because the guys wouldn't believe it if they saw it. But you know, we've got a great program. The good thing about the way I teach jiu-jitsu is that I'm not, look at me, I'm not an intimidating person whatsoever. I use technique and leverage to get my submission. You know, Elio Gracie, the founder of jiu-jitsu, I was blessed enough to train with him. And I asked his son Morion, the guy that actually invented the UFC, I'm like, what would your father tell you? Because he never spoke English. He goes, there's a couple things. He goes, like, always fought not to lose. I'm like, okay, all right, I understand that. He constantly wanted to fight, so if he never lost, that means he would eventually win. He goes, the other thing, he goes, leverage and technique always equaled my strength. And I really took that to heart. Training with the old man, that if I used technique and leverage, I didn't have to use my strength. So whenever I teach women, I don't care what size they are. It doesn't matter if you're 100 pounds. You should be able to move a 300-pound guy off the top of you. That's why jiu-jitsu is the best self-defense martial art.
And as you said, you trained a guy that came in that was 150 pounds overweight,
right.
And he began training, and he did as he was adequately possible to do, what his physical, capabilities were, and he trained a little bit different than other people, but he did what he could at his mass, and that's what you expect from your
right now.
fighter.
I'm ready to do it.
Makes me excited. JW, but your school, I happen to...
There we go. Okay, here we go. The conversation. E or no D.
I happened into your school 6 months back. You were there. James Wade was saying, I didn't know that guy. I'm gonna say hi. It's probably JW's the one it was. It's a beautiful school.
Thank you.
But you have had very large impact on people's lives. I know. I don't know if you're prepared to talk about it. I'd like to have her
I'm
out
a
here.
crier, man. Don't make me cry. That's all I ask.
Margie Cooper, one of your students, I know you had a huge impact on her life. She's been on the news telling her story of what jiu-jitsu's done for her. Can you touch on it just a little bit?
Yeah, I can't do the story justice, but I'll touch base on it. I'm a small piece of the Margie Cooper story. There's a lot of people that should take credit for what Margie's done. Margie had a tragedy in her life that she was looking for an outlet, something to maybe fill that hole, and she found martial arts. And the cool thing about it, Margie was probably 100 pounds overweight.
How old was she?
42. I'm guessing.
Oh my God, that's old.
I'm sorry. And you got to understand that Margie probably has one of the strongest hearts and minds of any woman I've ever met, and stubborn. So, she started training in Taekwondo, and that led her to jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, and being a true mixed martial artist. With that, she started working out like a fiend, eating healthy, doing the things that you need to do to be a professional fighter. So Margie really, after probably a year and a half of training, had her first MMA fight. It was a huge goal for her. It was a battle of a fight.
I saw that fight. That was a
She
war.
had black eyes after that.
Oh my God! It was, some would say that was a great fight. I wish she would have took to the ground and submitted the girl, but
I
it's
kept
okay.
waiting for her.
I think she kind of wanted to go.
She's probably eager.
Well, you know what? Margie is one of those people that doesn't mind getting hit and then hit back harder. So
I went to high school with Margie and knew her from the neighborhood growing up.
yeah.
Margie's always been a tough girl when it comes to that. Didn't take a lot of guff from the guys in the neighborhood, and So Margie's always had plenty of spirit and heart,
You know,
no doubt.
that's one of the things about the academy is all the girls. We do have a girls-only class.
That's what I was going to ask you. In addition to fighters, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm sure you have a lot of women that just study there for the self-defense and the art of it,
Yeah, I mean,
much more than fighting.
and you'd be surprised that you know, not all girls. Margie's the only one from the academy that's fought MMA. A couple of girls want to do it in the future. We'll decide that when the time's right. But most girls just want to do. They like the competition, really. You know,
Jiu-jitsu.
yeah, they really do. They like to do it. They've done well.
You got one that's done really well that didn't make it out here.
Yeah, we've got a couple. Jenna French, she's probably our number one girl fighter there, or jiu-jitsu fighter. She actually is the first girl to ever receive a blue belt underneath the academy. And just to let you guys know that the jiu-jitsu belt rankings, you know,
It's not like Taekwondo.
it's not. From the standpoint, it usually takes about 2 years per belt and about 10 years to get your black belt. And there's only a couple black belts, you know, around, so it takes a long time, especially for us guys in the Midwest that have to travel all
There's
over
only
the place.
3 black belts around, aren't there?
Yeah, there's one in Columbia. So you got
But 3 in St. Louis.
yep.
Yourself?
Myself, Rodrigo Baggi, and
Mike Rogers.
Mike Rogers. Congratulations to Mike on his recent black belt promotion. You know, so Jenna was the first one to get the blue belt. Just went to the Arnold Classic, which is the biggest tournament in the Midwest, and won the advanced no-gi and blue belt division after being promoted just a couple weeks earlier. So she'll probably be a world champion. I really don't have any doubt on her mind. These guys can tell you how tough Jenna is. I mean, she's a
What
very
weight class
legit.
does she fight at?
125.
Whew.
So, and she's a beast. I mean, she's a beast at that natural athletic. You know, her fiance Tyler is the, I guess, number 6 and number 7 ranked 155.
Number 7 right now.
So all they do is train. They train jiu-jitsu. They eat healthier than any humans on the planet. And I know
I
they're
hate them.
listening, so.
You guys work out 6 days a day, or 6 days a week, rather?
Exactly. Well, yeah.
6 days.
Something like that.
6 times a day.
6 times a day.
6 times a day.
Yeah. So our girls program is growing rapidly, but it's like anything. You know, you need a foundation of people to make it grow bigger. So I really want to promote that girls jiu-jitsu program because it is the best martial art for women, in my opinion. You know, it's a self-defense martial art.
So people that wouldn't be necessarily interested in fighting, if you will, MMA fighting, girls that wouldn't necessarily be wanting to get in a ring with someone, you know, as a self-defense, you know, training, that would be something that they would look into, correct?
Most definitely. And I would say 50-50 of the girls in the class will never compete.
Right.
So we don't push competition at all at my academy. It's just